In this lesson, we're going to discuss probability of a union of two events. Last lesson, diniscuss natin yung tinatawag nating experiment or the activity with unpredictable result. In an experiment, we have the result or what we call the outcome. And set of all possible outcome is what we call sample space. So this time, yung number of outcomes in a sample space is represented by the symbol N and open and close parenthesis S. So when you see the symbol, it means you need to give the number of outcomes in a sample space. So let's try to identify the sample space in a certain experiment. Let's say we need to flip a coin. So ang sample space natin is written like this. S is equal to open and close bracket H, T. And yung number of sample space natin, since meron tayong dalawang event or element dito, it means we have 2. Another experiment is tossing a die or toss a die. Ang sample space natin ay 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So, since 6 lahat yung element sa sample space natin, yung number of outcome is equal to 6. Last time, diniscuss natin yung tinatawag na event or yung subset of the sample space. So, when we see the symbol N and open and close parenthesis E, so it means we need to give the cardinality of an event or yung number of outcomes in an event. So this time, let's try to list the outcomes in each event. So first, meron tayong experiment na flipping a coin. Ang event na kailangan natin is get a head. So in a coin, isang beses lang tayo pwedeng makakuha ng head. It means ang cardinality ng ating event is 1. Another experiment is tossing a die. So in a dice, we need to get an even number. So, yung mga even number na pwede nating makuha sa dice is 2, 4, and 6. So, since tatlo yung element ng ating event, it means yung cardinality niya or yung number of event is 3. Another experiment is tossing a die again and the event is getting 3 or higher than 3. So, yung mga possible outcome natin is 3, 4, 5, and 6. So, it means 4 yung ating element ng ating event. Next is throw a card. Ang ating event is getting an 8. So, yung possible outcome natin is 8 of spade, yung 8 na heart, 8 na diamond, tsaka 8 na clubs. So, since 4 yung element natin, yung number of event natin is 4. Then, flipping 2 coins, ang ating event is getting at least 1 head. So, since 2 coins yung i-flip natin, magiging 2 yung sample point. So, we have HH, HT, tsaka TH. So, tatlo lang yung ating element sa ating event. It means yung number of event natin is 3. Next, let's have a recall when we say A union B. So, A or B or A union B consisting of all outcomes in A or in B or both A and B. So, when you see the word or, it means it is referring to union. So, example, a card is drawn at a random from a standard deck of 52 cards. You need to get a club face card sa set A, sa set B naman getting a jack. So, kapag draw mo siya using Venn diagram, si set A and set B ay may intersection or may commonality which is yung club na jack. Since we are referring to the union, ang shaded part natin is yung bilog ng A and B at the same time yung kanilang intersection. So, to list the outcome for the event of getting a club face card or getting a jack are jack na spade, jack na heart, jack na diamond, jack na club, queen na club, at saka king na club. So, as you can see, isang beses lang natin mention yung kanyang intersection. Kagaya nung review natin last lesson. So, this is A union B. Next naman is the intersection of events. So if A and B are events, their intersection is written A intersection B. This is the symbol for intersection and is the event A and B consisting of all outcomes common to both A and B. So take note of the word and. So pag narinig yung word na and, it means it is referring to intersection or this symbol. So lahat ng element na meron kay A at tsaka kay B. So, yun yung common outcomes natin pag sinabi nating intersection. So, let's say, balik tayo sa example natin kanina. A card is drawn at a random from a standard deck of 52 cards. Sa set A is getting a club face card at sa set B ay getting a jack. So, pag drawing natin using a Venn diagram, may intersection pa rin si set A and set B, pero since referring tayo sa intersection, ang shaded part lang natin, of course, yung intersection or yung jack na club. So, yung list ng outcome for the event of getting a club face card and getting a jack is jack na club only. Kasi nga because of the word and or intersection. Next is what we call mutually exclusive. Two events A and B are mutually exclusive if they have no outcomes in common or A intersection B is empty set. So kapag hinanap yung kanilang intersection is empty set. Let's say when a die is tossed, which event are mutually exclusive? So dito meron tayong tatlong set. Nag-toss tayo ng die. Yung unang set is getting an even number. Sa pangalawang set or si set B is getting an odd number. Si set C naman is getting 5 or 6. So, alin dito sa tatlong set na to yung considered as mutually exclusive event? Is it A and B, B and C, or A and C? So, sabi kanina, empty set yung kanilang intersection. So, si A and B, kung mapapansin, walang number sa kanilang intersection. Si A and C, may number sa intersection nila, which is 6. Si B and C, may number din sa intersection nila, which is 5. So, it means si A and B na walang intersection ang tinatawag nating mutually exclusive event. Now, let's discuss the probability. When we say probability, it is the chance that some event will happen. Or, dito natin masasabi yung percent of chances na mangyayari yung isang bagay. Ang formula natin sa pag-solve ng probability is i-divide lang natin yung number of ways a certain event can occur to the number of possible outcomes. So, in short, ang formula natin sa probability of an event is equal to number of event over number of sample space. Or yung number of favorable outcome, which is referring to an event, and number of possible outcome, or referring to our sample space. Pero take note, pag sinabi nating probability of an event, ang possible answer lang is greater than or equal to 0 but less than or equal to 1. So, ang answer lang natin ay simula sa 0 hanggang 1. Another, the sum of the probabilities of all outcome is given to is equal to 1. So, ibig sabihin, let's say, in flipping a die once, the possible outcomes are 6, diba? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Thus, each outcome has a probability of 1 over 6. So, yung probability na makakakuha ka ng 1 ay 1 over 6. Yung probability na makakakuha ka ng 2 ay 1 over 6. Probability na makakakuha ka ng 3 ay 1 over 6 hanggang sa probability na makakakuha ka ng 6 ay 1 over 6. So, pag inad mo lahat tong 6 na 1 over 6, it would result to 1. Yun yung ibig sabihin dun sa second note natin na the sum of the probabilities of all outcome is equal to 1. When we say probability, we usually give it in percent, pwedeng fraction, or in decimal form. So, ang usual natin na sinasabi kapag 0%, that is impossible. Pagka 100%, that is certain or 1. Kapag ka naman 25%, 1/4 or 0.25, that is not very likely. Kapag 50%, 1/2 or 0.5, that is equally likely. Kapag 75%, 3/4 or 0.75, that is somewhat likely. So these are the words that connected with this percentage of chances. So kapag sinabing equally likely, alam mo na 50% yung chance na mangyayari yung isang bagay. Pag certain, it means 100%. Kapag impossible, that is 0%. Pag not very likely, that is 25%. And pag somewhat likely, that is 75%. Let's try to have an example. Roll a dice. What is the probability of rolling a 4? So, sa ating dice, meron tayong 6 na faces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Ang formula sa probability of an event is equal to number of favorable outcomes over number of possible outcome. So, yung probability of rolling a 4, ang number of event natin is 1 kasi nga isa lang naman yung 4 dyan. Tapos, ang number of sample space natin is 6 dahil 6 yung faces ng ating dice. So, in short, ang ating answer is 1 over 6. The probability of rolling a 4 is 1 out of 6. Another example is roll a dice again. What is the probability of rolling an even number? So again, ang formula natin is number of events over number of outcomes. So ilan ba yung even number natin sa dice? We have 3, 2, 4, tsaka 6. So 3 yung ating favorable outcome, tapos 6 yung number of sample space dahil 6 yung mukha ng ating dice. Pero kailangan nating i-lowest term tong 3 over 6. Yung 3 and 6 ay may common factor na 3. So 3 divided by 3 is 1, 6 divided by 3 is 2. So it means 1/2 yung magiging final answer natin. 1/2 or 0.5 or 50%. So as we said a while ago, pwede nating ibigay yung sagot sa probability by means of fraction, decimal, or percent. So, 3 out of 6 or 0.5 or 50% or 1/2 yung probability na makakapag-roll ka ng even number. Next example is spinners. So, yung spinners natin, meron tayong 4 na color, green, yellow, blue, at saka red. So, what is the probability of spinning green? So, again, ang formula natin, number of event over number of sample space. So, ilan lang po yung favorable outcome, ilan lang ang green, that is 1. Ilan lahat yung colors natin, that is 4. So, it means we have 1/4 or 1 over 4. That is our answer. Hindi na natin siya pwedeng i-lowest term. So, it means the probability of spinning green is 1 out of 4 or 0.25 or 25%. Next example is flip a coin. What is the probability of flipping a tail? So, ang formula ulit, number of events over number of sample space. So, ilan yung tail sa ating coin? Siyempre, isa lang. Ilan yung ating sample space? Dalawa. That is head and tail. So, it means 1 over 2 yung probability na makakakuha tayo ng tail. Or, the probability of getting a tail is 1 out of 2 or 0.5 or 50%. Next example is deck of cards. What is the probability of picking a heart? Sa isang deck of cards, meron tayong 52 cards. At meron tayong 4 na suit. May heart, may clubs, may spade, tsaka may heart. Bawat isang suit may 13 na character. So, ibig sabihin, yung heart natin ay meron tayong 13. 13 yung ating favorable outcome at ang sample space natin ay 52 dahil 52 lahat ng cards. Bakit siya naging 1/4? Kasi nga ilo-lowest term natin. Ang common factor ng 13 and 52 is 13. So, 13 divided by 13 is 1. 52 divided by 13 is 4. It means yung probability of picking a heart in a standard deck of card ay 1/4. 1/4, 1 out of 4 or 0.25 or 25%. Another is what is the probability of picking a non-heart. So, pag sinabing non-heart, it's spade, clubs, or heart. So, ang favorable outcomes natin, since take to 13, yung ating character per suit, that is 39 out of 52. So, ni-lowest term lang natin, kaya naging 3/4. Ang common factor ng 39 and 52 ay 13. So, 39 divided by 13 is 3 and 52 divided by 13 is 4. So, yung probability na non-heart, yung mapipick natin is 3/4. So, as you can see, yung heart at saka non-heart, yan yung complementary event. So, kapag 1/4 yung probability na makakakuha ng heart, 1 minus 1/4 is equal to 3/4. So, equal to 1 pa rin yung total nila. That's why tinawag silang complementary events. Let us proceed to our sixth example. 2 coins are tossed. What is the probability that at least one head comes up? Pag sinabi natin at least one head, ibig sabihin isang head pataas. So, dahil 2 coins lang yung ating itotoss, 2 head lang yung pinakamataas na outcome natin. Ang possible sample space natin is head-head, head-tail, tail-head, tsaka tail-tail. Pero, ang event lang naman natin is getting at least one head. So, we have head-head, head-tail, tsaka tail-head. Isang head hanggang 2 heads yung ating number of event. So, number of event is 3 and number of sample space is 4. So, ang probability of event natin is equal to 3/4 or 75%. Example number 7, a card is drawn at a random from a standard deck of 52 cards. What is the probability that the card drawn is a face card? Ang face card natin ay mga jack, queen, and king. So, sa jack, may 4 na suit, same with queen and king. So, ibig sabihin, 12 lahat yung ating face card. Ang ating sample space ay 52 cards. Ang ating face card ay itong mga to, yung jack, queen, at saka king ng bawat suit. It means we have 12 yung number ng events natin. So, yung probability of getting a face card ay 12/52 pag kinuha ang lowest term, that is 3/13. 12 and 52 has a common factor of 4. So, 12 divided by 4 is 3, 52 divided by 4 is 13. Next naman is proceed tayo sa probability of a union of 2 events. So, balik tayo dun sa union of 2 events. Dito sa unang picture natin, yung union of 2 events ay meron siyang intersection. Ibig sabihin, this is not mutually exclusive. So, yung A or B, or yung probability ng A union B is equal to probability of A plus probability of B minus probability of A intersection B. So, ibig sabihin, kunin mo muna yung probability ni A, yung probability ni B, tapos i-minus mo yung probability ng intersection nilang dalawa. Next situation naman sa union of 2 events is the mutually exclusive. So, pag sinabi natin mutually exclusive, si set A and set B ay walang intersection. So, yung probability ng A union B is equal to probability of A plus probability of B. Wala na tayong kailangang i-minus na intersection kasi ang kanilang intersection ay empty set lang naman dahil sila ay tinatawag na mutually exclusive. Let's try to have an example. A card is drawn at a random from a standard deck of 52 cards. What is the probability that the card is red or queen? So, from the word or, it means we're going to find the union. Probability of the union of red or queen cards. So, yung ating unang set na red, ito yung kanyang elements. Ito naman yung pangalawang set, which is queen. So, meron tayong 4 na elements. So, ang kailangan nating isolve is the probability that the card is red or queen, or probability of red union queen. Ang formula na gagamitin natin is probability of getting red plus probability of getting queen minus probability of red intersection queen, o yung queen na red or red na queen. So, ilan ba yung probability na red, that is 26 over 52? Hindi na muna natin siya ilo-lowest term. Ilan yung probability na queen, that is 4 over 52? So, i-add lang natin yung dalawa na yon. Ilan naman yung probability na red and queen siya, or the card is a red queen? That is 2 over 52, which is the queen na diamond tsaka queen na heart. So, yun yung ima-minus natin dito sa sum nitong dalawa. So, we have 26 over 52 plus 4 over 52 minus 2 over 52. That is equal to 28 over 52. Pero kailangan nating i-lowest term. They are both divisible by 4. So, 28 divided by 4 is 7 and 52 divided by 4 is 13. So, yung probability na makakakuha ka ng red or a queen card is 7 over 13 in a standard deck of cards. Next example of union, probability of the union of two events is if a card is drawn at a random from a standard deck of 52 cards, what is the probability that the card is a spade or a club? So, or again, spade or a club is mutually exclusive. Kasi nga, wala naman tayong spade card na club pa. So, ang formula lang natin ay probability of club plus probability of spade kasi nga mutually exclusive, wala silang intersection. Ito yung dalawang set natin. This is the set for the spade and set for the club. So, ilan yung probability na makakakuha tayo ng spade, that is 13 over 52. Yung probability na makakakuha ng club ay 13 over 52. Yung 13 over 52 is 1/4. So, parehas silang tig 1/4. Yung probability na makakakuha ng club ay 1/4. Probability na makakakuha ng spade ay 1/4 din. So, 1/4 plus 1/4 is equal to 2/4 or equal to 1/2 pag nilowest term. So, yan lang yung mga samples ng probability of union of two events. Next lesson, i-discuss naman natin kapag more than two events yung involved.